Guys, welcome back. What a beautiful day to be talking about Tottenham Hotspur. I guess you guys are all buzzing after that thrashing of Man United.
Absolutely.
General thoughts,
Excellent
Steve? What are you thinking?
I wish Son had got that other one where he slightly miscontrolled it.
Yeah.
But that would be churlish, wouldn't it? To day like this. I'm very happy. I'm very happy indeed. I'm glad. At one point, I thought we're going to get injured. I don't want any injuries or any suspensions or sendings off. I just now want to get through this, really. But it was very good.
So we'll go into discussing the match and the lineups and all that. But I just want to get everybody's initial thoughts. Kamal, how are you feeling? Are you euphoric? How do you feel?
I mean, I thought genuinely I need to go and lie down. Then I laid down and I had to get back up. Then I basically spent the whole game pacing up and down in my living room. There's no way I could sit still. I mean, it was a historic day, a historic result. I mean, hoping for a win, but getting something like this. As Steve says, you find yourself sitting there thinking, well, why wasn't it 10? All those different chances, if they had gone in and if they had done that, and then you start thinking about goal differences, would it be great if we could get a bigger goal difference? Yeah. I'm really pleased that they didn't get one back, because I think if they'd got one back, that would have tarnished us a bit, because let's face it, if 9 men are going to get a goal against us, that wouldn't have looked good. And my other point I really have been burning to say, which I'm absolutely horrified by, is why Bailly didn't get a red card for purposely stamping on...
Well, we'll talk about the red card issues and all that later. But
okay,
I just
on Kane.
Yeah, come on, Jamal, what's your initial thoughts?
Welcome back, everyone, for another episode. First off, let me start off. Please like, subscribe, and comment, as always. We really appreciate all the feedback we're getting and the subscribers we're getting. But what a match. What a match. I mean, United had never conceded 7, so I was hoping for the 7 to get that, in the record books. But, I mean, what more can you ask for? What a stomping.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
So, Jamal, give us a bit of an intro of our record, Matt.
Yeah, so I have some good stats. United had won 6 of the last 7 that we played against them at home. 8 now, so they won the last 6 out of the last 8. So that's a good upturn for us. This was Son's first goal against Man United in 11 chances. But Jose had only lost 3 in 24 against Man United, so he's got a very good record against them. And for us, we've only managed to keep 2 clean sheets in 28 games. So that's tough.
Yeah, and away, you mean away in the Premier League, yeah?
Away in the Premier League, that's right.
Can I add a stat to that? I did see a very interesting stat. Today was the first time that Mourinho has won a game at one of his previous Premier League clubs away. His record so far has been 6 played, 2 draws and 4 losses. So this one is his first ever win as a manager at one of his previous clubs away. Is that incredible?
That's perfect. Okay, so good stats. Thanks for that, Jamal. Steve, initial thoughts about the team. Initially, what I thought was Aurier for Docherty, etc. So what's your thoughts on the team, Steve? The lineup?
Well, at first I wondered why Aurier was in over Docherty. I was really pleased to see Son back, but when was concerned that is he 100% fit? No Lo Celso. I assume he's still suffering from his midweek exertions. And again, no Dele Alli, but Dele Alli was on the bench, which actually I was pleased to see, because I think he does bring something. And then Alderweireld, I was worried about that, and even more worried after the first couple of minutes. Instead of Sanchez. And obviously Winks has dropped to the bench as well. And I also thought maybe I'd have started with Davis, because I thought we're going to be on the back foot. They're going to be attacking. We want maybe more defensive fullbacks than we had on. However, the rest is history. So apart from the first minute or so when I thought, he's made all the wrong decisions because Sanchez has just basically given away a penalty in the first couple of minutes. After that, I don't think we put a foot wrong, really.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, I think the only thing I was worried about was Aurier again, but he had a superb game, so I was happy about that. And Ndombele, Alderweireld, I think he played on Thursday, so maybe he's too tired. He
also played Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday, so maybe that's enough. But I was happy with the shape of the team. But yeah, I was happy with that. But we've got a really good, strong bench now, so I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, definitely.
Kamal, what do you think about the lineup?
Well, before I do that, can I just do my regular thing and give a shout out to Pavel in Augsburg, Germany? who enjoys all our analysis and says, "Come on, you Spurs!" And I'm sure that from today he'll be watching and cheering us on. So that's one from Germany. Yeah, I mean, an interesting thing. I mean, it comes back to what Steve always says. You have Sanchez at the back, and you really have to wonder. Yes, they have some pacey players, and maybe that's what he was thinking. But it wasn't the only mistake he made. He did make a couple of other ones. I think that for me, the most interesting thing, and again, all credit to Jose. He seems to get the best out of Son. This Son-Kane partnership where Kane is dropping deep and Son is scoring is incredible, because one of the things that always sticks in my mind from last season and the season before was it always seemed that Pochettino did not know how to play Kane and Son together. And they always seemed to either one played really well. When Kane was injured, Son played well. When Kane came back, Son was terrible. And this season, we've got some of the most exciting players playing gelling together, which is really, I think, going to make a difference. And just to add to that, I thought Aurier must have been truly stung by the signing of Docherty and Docherty coming in ahead of him, because he played out his skin today. Yeah, I mean, he didn't put a foot wrong. He went back. He was forward. He was everywhere. I mean, yeah, they gave him so much space. It was almost like he was on the pitch on his own at times. But he did take full advantage of that. Very impressed with him.
One thing, going back to that Son-Kane thing, I think Kane dropping deeper to get the ball, and then the defenders are following him and leaving space behind for Son to run into. So I think that's a really good tactic, and it's worked well. Jamal?
I think my biggest surprise for the lineup, which actually worked out, perfectly in the end, was including Lamela. I was surprised he started, but I mean, he brings the tenacity. He really hustles players, and it worked out well. I mean, a lot of people might argue that red card decision could have gone a different way for us, but I think it was the absolute right call. I'm happy to see it happen to United, not us. Red cards, yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll come on to the red card. So, Steve, the first one, do you think it's actually a penalty or not? Because there was some talk about maybe he initiated contact, Martial. What do you think? Was it actually a penalty?
I think he may have done, but looking at it on the TV, you're going to be penalised in that situation where you're tackling from the wrong angle, you're slightly behind the player, you're coming in from the side. It's a stone wall of penalty as you're going to get, I'm afraid.
Yeah. It's very impetuous, Sanchez. That's the problem. I don't think we'll ever get that out of him. That's the problem I have. He's always
30 seconds
in. Taking him. Sorry.
Yeah.
30 seconds in. 30 seconds in. I mean, I know that he's calling Bambi on ice, but I mean, God almighty, he hadn't even got his ice skates on by then. I mean, we had hardly touched the ball. I mean, we didn't touch it then. I mean, in terms of the penalty, and we can be very gracious now, because obviously we put 6 past them when we should have put 10. But we can be gracious in the sense that if that was the other way around and that penalty wasn't given against us, I think we'd be talking.
We'd be unhappy.
Yeah, no, it was a clear penalty. I think it couldn't have been a worse start, but the reaction from then, it was just phenomenal. Like, we scored again by the 5th minute. Yeah. We scored it back on the 5th minute, and then we were 2-1 up by 10th or something like that.
7th minute.
Wow.
Let's talk about the first goal. I mean, all right, comedy of errors from Man United defending, and Harry Maguire actually pulling his own defender out of the way. But I think it was good from Ndombele to keep in there and keep
getting into the box. We need more of that. We need more of that.
Lamela's work, right? I mean, he harried them so much in that box. Sorry, go ahead, John.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just saying, we've been missing a midfielder who will make runs into the box, and it's just someone to be there for when the ball drops. And Ndombele was there, just power it in. Yeah. But like you said, Lamela made that goal. Yeah.
Steve, good reaction from Spurs after going 1 down.
Absolutely, and I would reiterate what's been said about Lamela as well. His tenacity, his niggliness, his unpleasantness got us the goal, because he just ran. He was just making a complete nuisance of himself, and then the ball dropped kindly for us. But none of that would have happened if it wasn't for his effort. So, all fair play to him, really. Yeah.
So,
we came back well.
Yeah. Just to add to that, Rayos, is that if you all recall the game against Arsenal, back end of last season, we conceded within a couple of minutes. Head went down. They got a cracking goal against us. Lacazette scored from, I think, outside the box. And who was ready to pounce seconds, if not minutes later, to bring it back to 1-1. It was Son again. He went out there, made a fool out of David Luiz, and scored a beautiful goal. And I think getting back into the game that early on really got us the
impact. It really made a difference, I think. The longer it went on 1-0, the longer we start getting frustrated, etc.
Yeah,
certainly.
I
just wanted to add to that with Son's, eagerness to always not let his head drop, get a goal back. I mean, remember last season when we made it to the final of the Champions League against Man City, we conceded that easy first goal, and then he's the same player again, shows up with two good goals.
The same thing, yes.
So is this something you think, Steve, that I think Jose's actually instilled this into the guys, that you don't give up. You go down, 1 down, 2 down, you keep fighting. I think that's something.
I hope that's the case. I hope that he's able to make us less Spursy, and sort of instill that spirit in us. Yeah, I mean, it looks like certainly in that particular instance it was working. It's just the way they scored so early on. It's as if we were coming out to start the game and we were 1 down. And sort of psychologically, it's almost, well, we lost the first leg 1-0. Now we're gonna play.
Sometimes I think
we had the whole game in front of us really to get back into it. So I think that would have added to a sort of sense of, well, we've got loads of time here. If that would be 80 minutes, completely different.
It takes us to go 1-0 down before we start playing, but this was so early. I can't believe this. Time.
And then we started to play immediately.
Yeah, he made the error on 34 seconds. I think it was probably. I don't think we'd even touched the ball.
We hadn't even touched the ball. So come on, we go 1-0 down, and then we come back to 1-1 with Ndombele's goal. Talk me through the second goal and your thoughts about the second goal.
Fantastic. I mean, again, the interesting thing about that one is look at Maguire's position. He fouls Kane where he does. He stands around like a big mope, staring at him, right? Son starts running. Kane passes it through to him. Beautiful ball. I thought that Son had probably overhit it by the way that he did, but De Gea and two mine, and that's a sublime finish. I mean, that is a player in form. I also think the understanding between those two is almost telepathic right now. I mean, Son set up Kane. Kane set up Son. I mean, it's something to really behold, and it's something that we've missed from those two players in the seasons in the past.
So do you think that quick free kick, Jamal, is that something that they'd work in training, or is it just instinctive? They did it all the time?
I mean, a little bit of both. It's something Mourinho is going to definitely be pushing, quicker reactions. Like, remember the quick throw-ins that we're trying to get off now? It's about urgency. It's about urgency. Keep moving the ball, keep passing. And like what I said, that telepathy between Son and Kane is just, it's magical now. Reminds me of, Eriksen Kane before. I think this is better,
Yeah. A Delhi Kane before.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have scored that goal if it wasn't for Kane, who'd been fouled. Exactly. If it was any of the other of our players, or something like that, we would have had a straightforward sideways pass or ball to the back.
Yeah. I think Kane's becoming a most creative midfielder as well, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah.
He's
absolutely.
So we're 2-1 up, and everything's looking good. Let's talk about the red card now. I mean, I'm going to talk personally here. I don't like to see Lamela play acting like that. All right, it worked in our favour this time. He should potentially have been sent off as well. But to go down like a sack of spuds when he just hit him in the face, I don't think we should be doing that. But we did it, and it worked to our benefit. But I don't think we should be doing that. Well,
but you shouldn't be slapping a player in the face either. So even if it's the point, I take your point completely. And the question is this to all of you. Say Lamela was slapped in the face, and Lamela doesn't go down. Does Martial get a red card? Because the fact that he slapped him in the face doesn't matter whether he goes down or not. Unfortunately, in the modern day game, you have to go down to bring attention.
Let me counter that, because Lamela initiated the first contact. Martial didn't.
Well, he just pushed him away whilst they were waiting for a corner.
Pushed him in the throat. Pushed him. He would have gone down like a sack of spuds. Lamela would have gone.
I agree. If Martial had gone down, if he had called to the referee, if he had done anything other than what he did, it would have probably been a yellow card. And that we would have taken it. It would have been fine. Everyone would have accepted that it was, even if it was a red. Did he get a yellow for that? Well, then, fair yellow. Absolutely a yellow.
I don't think it was a red card. I think the referee should have, at most, booked both of them, and that would have been it. But things do even themselves up, don't they? Because we had, later on in the game, Bailey, I don't fully know how to pronounce his name, Bailey. He had two incidents where he was going on the Achilles for both, I think, for Kane and Son. Yeah. And then if you look at, I know we're moving on a bit here, if you look when Luke Shaw scythe down
Straight
more
red. It's a
running
straight
through.
red. I don't know why that's not a red card.
That was a disgrace.
In terms of
He didn't even-
cards,
Yeah,
that's
that was.
I think
I mean,
if Martial hadn't already been sent off, I think that would have been a straight red. That's my view.
I mean, what really upsets me is what Bailly did was malicious, it was vicious, and it was deliberate. Everybody knows that Kane's got weak ankles, right?
Yeah.
And he went specifically for that ankle to try and take a player out and wreck his career and wreck his season. And that, for me, is more than a red card. That should have been. That is just disgraceful behaviour in a player. And I mean, you can't have. I mean, it's a violent attack. On purpose.
I think you might be overplaying the intent there, because I think in the speed of the event, whether you can sort of premeditate something like that in the way you've described, Kamal.
Because he did it afterwards, though, Steve. He stopped. Kane was lying there. He stood up, and then he scraped his foot purposefully upon him. It didn't happen in the
he trod on him as well, Steve.
During the play.
He scraped his Achilles, and then when he got up, he trod on him as well. So
yes, that's what I'm talking
about. He knew what he was doing. He was frustrated. There were 3-1 down. He knew what he was doing.
Well, and Pogba did Holberg as well later on as well.
Yeah,
so it's,
I mean, again, what Shaw did to Mora as well. I mean, the ball was, 10 feet away from him? He had no intention of playing the ball. He went for the player, and he went in a vicious, nasty way. And how is that not a red card? How is that not a red card?
Listen,
what even a booking? Oh, it was a booking.
He got a yellow.
If Martial hadn't been sent off, I think Luke Shaw probably would have been. But I think the referee. So Jamal, so Martial gets sent off, but I don't think that had any effect. We were over them anyway. When even 2-1
I think,
down, we had loads of
I think we definitely still just looked the stronger team. We look like a real team. Can you imagine us playing like this at the same time last year? There was no cohesion. There was no one was fighting for each other. No one was yelling at each other to get back into position. I think Sissoko did an incredible job, displaying that. He just gave Aurier all the freedom. He knew exactly how to play his role. I like that little trifecta of Ndombele, Sissoko, and Aurier communicating that French connection. It's going to be very good this season, I think.
I mean, I've been really impressed with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I think he had a superb game. And one thing that's really surprised me is his range of passing. He can actually put a really good pass together. I thought he was just breaking up play and then handing over. But no, this guy, he had an assist for Aurier's goal. So I've been really impressed. I think he's one of the major differences in our team. And I think, again, he's a Mourinho player. And
I think he's growing. And I'm going to have to say again that, I mean, the fact that there is competition, proper competition for places, gets the best out of the players. And what I like about the Mourinho style is that if you don't give us the best, then he's happy to drop you. Nobody's too big to be dropped, as he's showing with Delhi. But and Aurier is a prime example. We all thought Aurier would be gone this weekend, correct? Looks like he ain't going nowhere. Because Docherty then would take it as, well, who else are they going to play in my position? Now he's got to fight for his place. And isn't that what we need?
That's exactly. Steve, do you think we've got really good strength in depth now in the squad, at least 2 people per position?
I think we have. And just going on to maybe dropping people, there was an incident, I think, in the last game where Doherty didn't track back, and Mourinho was really shouting at him from the sidelines, trying to gee him up to get back, which is what you normally get for Aurier. And there may be 1 or 2 moments when Aurier trotted around, but now we've got a bench that is impressive, and it's still a bench without Bale. Bringing Bale on for the last 20-25 minutes, I think that would have been an interesting set of circumstances. Yeah,
and we had no Lo Celso.
I was going to say the same thing.
One of our best players wasn't playing.
Strength in depth. I think we could put 2 really strong teams out now. I think.
We got a new striker incoming too. On top of all that, exciting times.
So let's talk about.
He didn't get a run out.
Well, let's talk about goal number 4 now. Talk us through it and what happened and why we scored such a great goal.
You're talking about Son's second goal?
Yes.
Well, I mean, how he got that goal from that angle even defies me. I know it went through De Gea's legs, but what a beautiful ball. Yeah. Everyone expected Aurier to pass it back, right? Yeah. But the way that he slid it across and sublime finish from Son, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, I never expected that to go in.
I remember
it took me from complete surprise.
I remember him doing a finish at Watford 3 or 4 years ago where he
did from the corner.
Remember that, Steve?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think it did take a little deflection from Maguire on the way over,
right?
on another day, you know, De Gea would have had his legs closed, as it were, and he didn't. So, I mean, sometimes you get some lucky breaks, and I think there was a degree of luck with that. But I'll take every goal from every situation, really.
I think when it's that close, it's very hard for the keeper to close their legs. Yeah. But it was his touch. I love the Son's touch from such a delicate touch, from such a tight angle. It is what really made it good.
Let's put it this way, guys. We've had our share of bad luck at Old Trafford, so we're due some good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to touch on Son.
Go on.
Just a little more about Son. I think he's always been a very good player, but I think he's taken another step up now. His finishing has been decent throughout his career, but now it's just consistent quality. Like he shot after shot, you know, 80% of the time it's going in, and maybe that's the Mourinho factor. He just instilled that, you know, world class ability now.
One. I thought he was.
Yeah, he's
allowed. You will never forgive him, will you, Steve? You won't forgive him that, will you?
Well, what it was a through pass from Lamela. Lamela, who, you know, likes to dribble until he loses it. He actually played a really good through pass. Unfortunately, Son's first touch wasn't perfect, but I'm probably being over.
Do you forgive him?
I
forgive him as well. So we go into the break at 4-1, and Jamal, you've got to start. Is it the first time United have conceded 4 in the first half since 1957? I'll say the stat for you. Sorry.
There you go.
And who was the last team to put 4 past them in the first half?
It's Tottenham also.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah. In 1957.
Yes. Just before you were born.
1957.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember seeing Spurs 3-0 up against Man United at White Hart Lane.
Yeah,
and
I was there with you, Steve.
I remember that.
Well, come on, sorry.
I was sitting next to you. And we lost 5-3.
Yeah. So listen, let's get this back to the second half then. So we go in 4-1 up, and then we come out and we score another 2 goals. I mean, the 5th goal. Talk us through that, Jamal. The 5th goal.
Was that the penalty? Is that Ben Davis?
No,
that's the 6th. I know we had so many goals. No one can remember which one's which.
What was the 5th one?
It was Aurier's goal, wasn't it?
Aurier's goal.
Aurier's
of
goal.
Course.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful pass again from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He assists.
Yeah.
Behind the back of Pogba, Aurier coming through. What do you think about that, Jamal?
So I think what's telling about that goal is how usually I feel like a lot of teams expected us to either be going either the right wing or the left wing. I think it shows how strong both our wings plays are. That we'll attack from the left and instantly we can just switch it across. And you got a good player in Aurier who can either put in a good cross, or you've seen him score many similar goals like that before. And he's got a good strike on him. I think we got lots of space on the wings in that match, and we exploited it very well.
Steve, thanks. Steve, were you impressed by Aurier's goal?
I was, and I'm no great fan of Aurier.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked you.
Yeah. But, I mean, nobody really had a bad game. I think sometimes the sort of Sanchez, Sissoko, Aurier triangle looks a bit shaky, and you're hoping they won't lose possession. But it was a great sort of team goal, really. But it wouldn't have been there unless Højbjerg had that slide rule pass.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I didn't know he could do passes like that.
Well, I didn't know he had it in his locker. I didn't know he had it in his locker. So I want
to add one thing about that goal, which I think is really important, and it's the way that Man United played. I mean, Jamal's absolutely right. That wing play. I mean, they were almost playing like a pub team. So the ball goes to the left, they all go over to the left, right? Ball goes to the right, they all go over. It's like you're being on a ship. They're actually swaying away wherever the ball goes. Because I mean, one thing about Aurier's goal, he could have had another 6 touches. Not the space he had. There was nobody near him. He stood there, held the ball, looked at him, beautiful shot. But I mean, when in the Premier League do you get that much time in the box to take a shot like that?
I think there's a lot. I mean,
very rare.
They were losing 4-1. They were 10.
Down to 10 men too.
I think that's a lot.
It was coming too. Even with Son's previous goal before that Sissoko pass out to Aurier, he had so much space, and that could have been, they could have worked towards it. They had plenty of defenders on the field. They weren't going to score another goal, or Rashford was up there by himself, so they had all the defenders that they would have had in the same situation.
Great pass by Sissoko, although he overhit it.
Yeah, I thought he overhit it a lot, but Aurier worked.
Alive, yeah. Credit to Aurier. So, Steve, talk us through the 6th goal then, because we're short of time here. It's the 6th goal.
Okay, well, this is the Ben Davis came on and charged into the box, which is unlike Ben Davis, but that's good.
Yeah,
and then Pogba dives in.
Definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was an intentional, I'm going to pull him down.
Yeah.
The ball had gone, he'd gone to ground and just completely took Ben Davies out. What you do know is, I mean, my son was watching the game with me and he said, I know Kane's going to score. There's no problem. And he walked out the room. He knew Kane was going to score. And we sort of, I, of course, being me, said, yeah, but he's got to miss sometime.
Yeah.
And of course he didn't, and he put the ball in. Although the keeper did, I think, go the right way. I think.
Yeah. Oh, it was just that good of a penalty, though.
The power and the accuracy.
Come on, definitely a penalty for you.
But I mean, I would say that what Pogba did again. I'm going to go back to saying it. It was like a pub team. I mean, you slide in like that. The ball. He was so late. The ball had already gone to one of our players. I mean, what the hell are they doing? I mean, it's not. It wasn't just a 100% penalty. It was just. It was. A complete no-brainer. This time, even VAR could not save Man United.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wanting us to go for 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
I think Mourinho just said keep possession, don't let them score another goal. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, it was very contained second half.
I was getting a little bit worried someone was going to get injured because they were getting frustrated and flying in. I thought, I don't want to get another couple of goals if it means a player's got to be out for any length of time.
There was a nasty challenge on Højbjerg too by Pogba. Did you see that? Yeah. Right on the back of his, scraped it right down on his back of his leg. That was a nasty challenge. They were getting pretty nasty, but I mean, I suppose I don't know what the mentality is like when you're being pummeled like that. Yeah. Just to say, can I just give you one more stat very quickly? Manchester United have not conceded 11 goals in 3 games since 1930, and when they did that, they were relegated.
Yeah.
You can only pray that happens this time.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, can we talk about Man United just for 1 second?
No, hold on a second. I don't want to talk about Man United. I want to talk about Tottenham.
I got one thing.
We will go into Man United. We will talk about Man United, but this is the Tottenham. So let's talk.
I want to ask a question though. One question, and it is related to Tottenham. That is, who believes that Poch will be there by the end of the week?
I'm not so sure. There's a lot of love for Ole in that club.
So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hope for that in any way. So let's just,
let's watch this space. I say.
Let's not tarnish Poch's memory of us with us. I want to say though,
go ahead, Jamal.
I was very happy Son came off of the 70th minute. As disappointed as he may have been, a hat trick would have been nice, but save him, save them legs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ndombele made Fernandes look like a little schoolboy.
Yeah.
And that's always nice to see, especially since the first time we played Fernandes, he did a very good job against us. Mm-hmm. They looked amateur today, and it was good to see.
Steve, do you think Ndombele is finally cementing his place in the team?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is.
Is he becoming undroppable now?
Sorry?
Is he becoming undroppable?
I mean, I think you've got an obvious situation where no one's undroppable in that team now. I think he's... Sorry?
Harry Kane is undroppable, I think.
Maybe, yeah, okay. But nearly all of them are undroppable.
Yeah.
No, he's now playing much better. His attitude seems better. He has a certain demeanour about him that I think fans don't always warm to, because he sort of seems to sort of stroll around and shamble around a bit. But he's now producing the goods, isn't he? And he was there to score as well.
Yeah,
he's in the right place at the right time. And I like players who, when there are scrambles and the ball's bobbling around, they happen to be in the right place at the right time. It's not always the prettiest goal, but you want players like that.
I mean, I'm really excited because we had no Bale, we got Carlos Vinicius, we got Lo Celso, we got great players to come back. I honestly think that if Mourinho can get this team playing really well consistently, I think we could definitely get top 4.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I'm starting to think that now.
I think top 4. I think that we need some cups. I think we need to do better. I think there are a few teams around us that are just phenomenal, like Everton have been incredible. Yeah. Liverpool look unstoppable. But I mean, the biggest fears that we had in terms of top 4 were Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City. And that sort of seems to be dissipating a bit. And I think we could easily do Arsenal. I'll be looking forward to Bale destroying Arsenal and whenever we get to play them. So, top 3. I go top 3.
I agree with that.
What do you think? And don't agree with your dad all the time. He's not gonna.
Oh, no, I can't help, though. But, I mean, I would... If Liverpool and Everton didn't look so strong, and, there's a small part of me that hopes Everton continue to do so well, because they're playing very good football and it's enjoyable to see from them. But at the same time, I would like to be up there competing with the top teams. We're playing so well. Why can't we aim higher than top 4?
Steve? Realistic ambition for us.
I think top four is realistic, but I also think we've got a lot of challenges, a lot of challengers as well. I mean, who would have thought West Ham would beat Leicester 3-0?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. So I think that the challenges will come from all over, but at the same time, that means everyone's taking points from everyone else. And if you can,
this could be one of the most open championships in a long time. Personally, Everton have done well, but I don't think they can sustain it. I think they're going to drop off after a while. Chelsea are going to come good. Man City will come good. I think we've got a decent chance of top four and a cup. I think that's what.
Can I just add to that? It's a really interesting point that Steve made about West Ham. So Leicester beat Manchester City 5-2, lose 3-0 to West Ham. Tottenham beat Manchester United 6-1. Next game we play, West Ham at home.
Be a good game.
Please don't go there with a hangover.
No.
They're probably still drinking after beating City 5-2. Yeah. That's probably what it was. At least we got 2 weeks break to get over any hangover.
Let's just pray we don't get any injuries in the international break,
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Bale playing at home against West Ham and tearing them apart. I think
that's his earmarked his game. So let's talk a little bit about Man United, because I know Kamal wants to talk about them. Let me start on this one off. Man United look like disjointed 11 people playing. They're not playing as a team. They don't have a process or a style of play. They just look like individuals. So I wasn't impressed. I'm not sure it's Ollie's fault. I think a lot of the players need to stand up and take some stand here and do something for him. But, long may continue their, anarchy in life.
Yeah.
Kamal?
I just want to add this to it. I mean, we're a team like Man United who basically could take any player from us when they wanted, how they wanted, like as they did with Sheringham, as they did with Berbatov, as they did with so many others. Carrick, as another example, right? Are now putting their hopes on Edison Cavani. The guy can't, he's 33 going on 34, has an extremely poor scoring record in the last few years. That's probably, to me, sums everything up. All I can say is, serves you right, Donny van der Beek, for choosing Man United over Spurs.
But tell you the truth, I don't know where he fit in our team anyway, so I'm glad he went to United.
Fair enough.
Jamal, some words about Man United, and don't be too harsh on them.
I think Reguilon made a great choice in his coming to Spurs. I think he's very happy with that. I think the Cavani deal kind of reminds me of the Ibrahimovic deal. It's like, why are they doing that? Are they trying to sell shirts? Is it just a money-making process? It must be a very sad time to be a Man United fan, and I don't feel sorry for them, unfortunately.
Long may it continue.
Long may it. Steve, do you want to say some final words about your second team, Man United? Steve, are you still there?
Steve? I think he froze.
We've lost. It shows it's live, so we've lost Steve. We can't say anything. But anyway,
right.
So we're going to take 2 weeks.
Oh, there we go. There's Steve.
Oh, back. Steve, we're just going to say, did you want to say anything about Man United before we close?
Yeah, I may have lost you for a second or two there. I feel a bit like I think you did, Reyes, about let's talk about Spurs, not Man United, because what you get when there's a result like this is that sort of self-entitlement comes out, doesn't it? It's, we're Man United, we should be winning, we should be doing this. So all of the analysis, all of the commentary, the media storm is about Man United and about what needs to happen there. So I do get a bit sort of fed up with that. But they haven't made good buys, have they? How much did they pay for Maguire? It's 80 million
for Maguire, 45 for Danny van der Beek, yes.
They're making bad purchases, really. Maguire's probably a £30 million player. Still, that sounds massive to me. And Pogba just is so inconsistent. He's obviously got talent, but he's completely inconsistent. His attitude's terrible.
So now we've got the transfer window's closing tomorrow. The last person we're going for is a guy called Skriniar. Do you think we're going to get him, Jamal, or not?
I think a centre-back would be nice. Someone to take Sanchez's place.
Exactly.
It's the only piece to the puzzle that's missing. Yeah. It's the only piece to the puzzle that's missing.
I think that's, if we do that, it would be like heaven. I think if we got him, that'd be brilliant. Yeah. Come on.
One last point I wanted to make, and that is that back four of Man United cost just a little shy of £200 million.
Yeah.
Between the four of them that were back there, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money these people have? They're probably now worth about £2 million between them. That's how bad it is. Do we need another centre back? My personal view is that if we can get Toby playing to his best again, like we're getting some of the other players. And Dyer, we never spoke about because he had an
That was
immaculate
excellent.
game.
Which is good. The fact that we never spoke
Exactly.
about Dyer means it's good.
It's good, yes.
Yeah.
And Sanchez, I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it. I mean, I know that we've lost voice now. What about Kebron Carter-Vickers and Tanganga?
Tanganga, I think, is a good option. But
I think Tanganga's a good option, actually. I think he'll come good.
Okay, yeah. Just one thing, going back to Davinson Sanchez. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he made a couple of really good passes, switching it from right to left out to regular.
I think generally speaking, he's a good footballer. He's got a mistake in him
Excellent,
without a
bro.
doubt, and that's just it's worrying, constantly worrying.
Yeah, I think exactly. So, okay, guys, listen, it's a wrap. I think we did really well. We're happy.
Yeah.
We'll be on cloud 9 for the next 2 weeks.
Go on, you Spurs.
Great way to end before international break.
West Ham on the 17th, I think, is our next game. So.
It's the 17th.
And what we may do is we'll try and discuss some other stuff, see what comments come back, and we maybe have a chat in between. We don't want our subscribers to miss us talking about Tottenham, so we might have a few videos in between. But goodbye to everybody, and
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Comment, like, and subscribe, please. We need to build our subscribers and those views up. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.